Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to beautiful British Columbia. A little overcast, but what do you expect? It's mid-July for crying out loud, and the mosquitoes are going nuts. Let's take a look at the lawn. The lawn is looking absolutely fantastic. However, we have what is called red thread, and that is right here. We got some patches, but all that needs is a good hit of nitrogen. You can make your way over to Wally Mart or Crappy Tire and get yourself something that'll be something like 36, 0, and 0. And what I did try to do here is edge the side and cut it too short. So that's what the yellowing is. Anytime you have yellow stripes or yellowing on your lawn, it's through stress. And I caused my lawn some stress. Anyway, let's get back to the show, shall we? So it is a Saturday. So it's kind of like a do-it-yourself kind of theme going on. As you can tell by the Model Y, what Elon did from the Model 3 is added two things. First, they did the Chrome Delete, so we wouldn't have to aftermarket pay someone else to do it for us or try it ourselves. But also what he did is that he added a phone charger. So was it Jada and those crew, those pads, for $100? Well, he threw it in with the Model Y. What he hasn't changed throughout the history of time is that frickin' shiny black piano gloss plastic center console. So within an hour of getting this car, I wrapped it. It was the first thing. Put it in my driveway and I wrapped it. But I didn't wrap the top lid for some reason. So let's do that today. Alright, let's get started. You can tell there's quite a difference between the gloss here and the matte, and I chose a matte vinyl because it actually matches the steering wheel and the seats and all the interior plastics. This is a 3M wrap, the Series 1080. I got it off Amazon, got it delivered. Also, at the same time as buying that or ordering that on Amazon, I ordered a little made in China toolkit for applying vinyl. And this has actually been quite handy. I think it was cheap as chips. It was actually quite cheap. But it came with an X-Acto knife with numerous extra blades. It came on with magnets, so you can actually if you're doing part of the outside of the vehicle or something that's magnetic, you can hold the film up, the vinyl up with these magnets. Has a couple of, pry tools and things like that, but the main one that I use, of course, are these ones. And this is what you're going to use to, get the air bubbles out of your vinyl. What else does it have? Stuff. And a vinyl cutter. This is for cutting long lengths. And I think it's like only $10, maybe $15. And it came at the same time. I was able to find a US distributor of this. If you buy it straight from China, by the time it arrives, you've probably lost interest in doing it yourself and got someone else to do it. So make sure that when you click buy, that it's not coming from too far away. So it comes with a set of white gloves. I'm actually going to put those on because the this matte black does show a little bit of, if you rub it too hard with your oily hands, it does cause some not staining but some marks, but it's gonna get cleaned off no problem with just a regular cloth. All right, so let the operation begin. So when I did these two, I did the cup holders and the first storage bin there. Like I said, I did it within an hour of it getting home because I was, it's an hour away from the Tesla store, and by the time I got it home, it was filthy and fingerprinted. It was quite embarrassing. So yeah, the first thing I did was wrap it right away. And you can choose and figure out what, the woman I live with, she wanted carbon fiber, a little bit of a shiny gloss carbon fiber, so I bought that. And initially I bought a roll of, I'm going to say 18 inches by 6 foot or 5 foot. And the reason why is that she actually wanted to wrap, you know, the wooden strip that goes across the top here on the Model 3 and the Model Y. She doesn't like the look of it. And then she always got bunked on the head because now she doesn't mind it. Well, that's all right. So lesson learned there. If you put something off long enough, she'll change her mind. So also what you need is to get yourself some isopropyl rubbing alcohol. The 70% stuff is good here. And this is to make sure you give it a good cleaning. So prior to turning the camera on, I did kind of make a quick fit of this. It was this way, and I just made a quick cut. And the reason why I didn't want to do it, because you're going to take a look at the back of my bald head. And, you know, you'll probably make some comments about it, but that's okay. I've lived with it for the last 20, 30 years, so who cares? So, first thing to do, gloves on. You got your kit, you got your tools, you got everything. And the first thing that we are going to do is that we're going to take a cloth and we are going to clean this area here. I would say that 90% of the time that I'm driving, I have it up because that's where the charging pad is. That, you know, you can just hook your phone in, boom, and it starts charging. So as driving, I'd always have that open, but I've decided today, why not? Let's do it. And so even when it's done, you can still drive with the opposition. As you can tell, there is fingerprints, just, I don't know if you can tell, sorry. But yeah, just horrible greasy fingerprints. I'll have to take full responsibility for that. So the first thing you want to do is that we want to clean the entire area. And because of the weather out, this alcohol evaporates actually quite quickly. Now don't forget the sides where you're going to wrap it around. You want to make sure those are clean. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Got some extra on the finger, so why not do a little bit of a cleaning here? Remember, ABC, always be charging. ABC, always be cleaning. So, done. So the next step is, I know the tools that I'm going to use. I am going to use the squeegee. I am going to use the knife. What the hell did I see the back of my head there? There it is. All right. The doctor will see you now. All right, make sure it's sharp. So let's get to it. I might speed some of this up because it's going to be quite simple, or boring for you to watch me do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to peel off the back. We're going to have overlap on all four sides. Now you don't want the overlap to be 6 inches on either side. You want just the overlap to probably be 1 or 2 inches on either side. The reason for that is if it's too wide, it's going to be so cumbersome to try to get around with the knife, etc., etc. So now let's do it. I am going to peel it, so you might be in fast forward mode. So there you go. All I've done is laid it over. It got a bit of an overlap on each side. And all I'm going to start doing is just trying to get it to contour the front part of it first. Well, so all we've done is that we've pressed it off, we've applied pressure to it, we got a little bit of overlap, and you want to be, when you're dealing with matte vinyl, you don't want to press too hard with the rough plastic side or the edge of these sort of squeegees here. You want to use the felt or the fabric side, and even then you don't want to press too hard, because this does have the ability to streak. When I did the first like the cup holder area, the first cab on this vehicle, is that I was pushing really hard thinking, this is really good, and I used a corner here and it left a line, and of course 2 days later that line, all I could see was that line, and that was actually worse than fingerprints. So when you use the squeegee, just do it lightly, and you can see on the sides here and here I did use the hard plastic, but all I did was just sort of run it up and down. That's where I'm going to be cutting anyway, so just keep it in there. So now it's time to do the doctor. So we are going to cut the sides first. Now what is stopping this from going up and down is actually this this overlap here that's stuck to this cabinet. So I would suggest cutting this side last, because if you were to press on it now, it would want to flip up. So all you're going to do is you're going to use your razor, your blade, and you're going to cut, and if you can, use the side of the chrome here as a guide. All right, you might be going into fast forward motion. All right, so one side done. Now what we're going to do is cut on the other side. Next is going to be the top. Well, all you're going to see is the back of my bald head, so we might cut this a little bit out, but all I'm going to do is cut the top end of this. So that's been cut. And so right now I have the three sides, the top and the left and right side, that have been cut. Now we're going to do the bottom part here. Now if I was to press down this, it's going to want to lift up, which is fine, because it's going to help us put this wrap over the lip. So if we can just lift this up. Well, so basically that is it. As you saw with my last video, which I'll put the link up in that corner up here, that was the do-it-yourself ceramic coating. Save yourself $500 to $700 from doing it yourself. Now with this, yes, you can go on to well, Amazon. There's a bunch of places that have the pre-cut ones, but you know, a roll of film or vinyl is going to be a lot cheaper. But yeah, you can go with it. But all I say is do it yourself. You can do this so easily yourself. It didn't take me any time. What did that take me? 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. And I mean, yes, it's not a, I'm going to say it's not a professional job, because someone that does this for a living would have all the tricks in the trade, especially when dealing with the corners and how you're supposed to cut those at a 45 and all, you know. But for a regular guy, that is fine with me. The good thing is if there's any part of that that you don't like, you just peel it off and you do it again. This time do it better. That's what we, this is how we learn. So for yourself, go on to eBay or go on to Amazon, get yourself, I mean 3M. 3M is amazing quality, right? So you may as well get yourself some 3M, get enough to do the center part, and go from there. You can do this so simply yourself. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I try to bang out a video once a month. I'm not trying to be one of these full-time YouTube people. I don't have sponsors. I don't have people sending me stuff for me to talk about. I don't have, you know, tons of viewers. I think I just got 500 subscribers. That is fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm not one of these, I'm just a regular guy, just like you, that, you know, doesn't have manicured eyebrows and, you know, good for the camera. No, I'm just a regular guy like you that's worked hard to get a product that you believe in and you love. And it's still fun to tinker around with this kind of stuff. So anyway, like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to write a comment, even if it's a negative comment. I even enjoy thumbs down if you don't like it. Well, you know what? So I'm thinking that on my last video, had almost 1,000 views on do-it-yourself ceramic, and I had 1 dislike. And what I think that 1 dislike was probably a guy in the business that's, you know, upset that I'm exposing the fraud. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a gooder, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.